Hello and welcome to our October Meditate and Create. I am so glad we are here together. As I say, welcome. All of you is welcome here, and only what you welcome is invited in. So grant yourself permission to give yourself what you most need in this moment and in the moments to come. And I always like to begin with, what do you hope for in our time together? In a word, a sentence, a phrase, whether it's a phrase you whisper to yourself or share in the chat or share aloud, you are welcome to share. And our opening comes from my book, and this is For Ease of Being. Enfold us with your love, source of light and life. Grant that we may find the space to be enfolded, that we allow ourselves the space to say yes to your inviting spirit. You welcome us into your life freely. May we experience your welcome through love as we love ourselves and love others. May we find the beauty and light that lives within. May we live our days loving, comforted, and at peace. May each breath be a breath of love. May we discover our ease of being. May we be our truest selves, knowing who we are. May we enfold one another as tribe, offering care and support to one another. May we experience our strength and resilience with ease. So I ask a question. How do you want to live? And this is a question you can answer in any way you choose, but consider it. Do you want to live with hope, possibility, and promise, with greater ease of being? Do you want to live with love first or love at the center? There are so many ways to live, an infinite number of possibilities. And maybe this is a choice you make for the next hour, which is another way of saying, what do you hope for? How do you want to live in this moment? There's no right or wrong. It just is. It's choice. We can try things on. We can dust things off. And so there's a little bit of magic involved, I think, for October as we live with hope, possibility, and promise, and knowing we can choose how we want to live in each moment. And I want us to tune in with our senses. And so I invite you to put your body in a comfortable position, whatever that means for you in this moment, mindful of your posture, mindful of your sitting bones. Make yourselves comfortable, whether seated, reclining, standing, or something else. We're going to change our pace by changing our breathing. Breathing in through our nostrils, breathing out through our nostrils. Gently elongating, breathing in, breathing out. In and out. Continue breathing deeply, finding your body's natural pace for deep breathing. Know that with each deep inhalation, your body is receiving exactly what it needs for the service of life. And as you exhale, your body is releasing what has been used for the service of life. With each deep inhalation and exhalation, we are receiving and releasing. And with intention, breathe in what you most need, whether you can name it or sense it. And with intention, breathe out what you carry that you no longer wish to carry. It may take a few deep breaths or an audible sigh or sound. Having been breathing in and out deeply, your body has been moving into a space of ease. Muscles have been perhaps calming and relaxing, maybe even decompressing. You may notice in your body that there's an area that needs adjustment. So mindfully, with care and sensitivity to comfort, you can gently move that space and bring it greater ease. We're going to continue noticing through our senses, noticing the sounds that we hear, noticing the sounds our bodies create, noticing any tastes that linger on the tongue, notice what we smell, notice what you see through open or closed eyelids. Notice the sensation of touch, skin to skin, skin to clothing, body to chair, floor. Notice your inner state of being. Notice where your energy resides. Notice your mind. If there are any thoughts clamoring for attention, you can invite them to float downstream like a leaf atop the water. Somehow, those thoughts that are meant to find you again will. Breathe in deeply, breathing in what you most need. And as you exhale, release what you carry that needs releasing. With your mind's eye, I invite you to find yourself in a space of life that brings you comfort and that is a soft place to land. Wherever you find yourself, whether in memory, in a space of the present day, or a space of your imagination's creation, this space of comfort that can also be a soft place to land is one you can turn to when you need exactly that, comfort or a soft place to land. It can also be a space of your creation that brings you what you most need in this moment. Notice the space you find yourself in your mind's eye. What catches your attention? Notice your posture in this space. Are you standing, seated, reclining? Is there space that if you were to just let go and fall backward, that you could land softly? Notice what you notice. Notice, too, what gives you comfort. Perhaps items or faces or people, food, nature, travel, spaces, anything. It could be anything that brings you comfort. Whatever comes to mind, notice it. In that spirit of experiencing comfort, notice what sensations your body, your energy, your mind, what you experience as comfort. What does that feel like? What does that look like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? Widening our attention, what if comfort is also about trust? What is it like to be comforted when trusting yourself and the voice you have, and the body you use, with your intelligence, curiosity, strength? Is comfort similar or different than it was a few moments ago? How does the space you're in shift or change or adapt? Thinking about comfort as trust. Especially as you consider trusting yourself as you are and as you are becoming. In this space of comfort, with a soft place to land, ask yourself, how do I want to live? Perhaps images, a word, a phrase, a sequence of events come to mind. Perhaps the answer is simply exactly how you're living. Whatever it is, only what is welcome is invited in. In this moment, in this day, how do I want to live? What does that look like? Feel like? Sound like? Taste like? Invite your heart, your wise self, to respond. If it's a welcome message, it is truly from the heart and your wise self. Your heart should not lead you astray. Take another deep breath in, breathing in gratitude. And as you exhale, release gratitude. When I count from 5 to 1, we will open our eyes and readjust to our surroundings, wiggling our fingers and toes, bringing with us only what is welcome and what is desired. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So today we're going to continue spending time with that theme of hope, possibility, and promise, and whatever it is that you choose to live with, how you want to live, how you do live. We're going to offer 2 paths, which certainly return to each other. So you can begin with creativity, you can begin with writing. Well, it's all creative, let's be real. As you create today, I invite you to begin with a 7-minute write if you choose. Here are the beginning statements you can start with, or you can start with words of your own making. I am. Today I live with. I choose. When I experience hope, when I experience possibility, when I experience promise. However you choose to begin, I will time for 7 minutes and let you know when those 7 minutes are at an end. The music will continue to play. And if you would like to go straight into our creative time, I invite you to do so. So today I was thinking, in the spirit of what's to come with Halloween and this beautiful month of October, that it might be fun to do some spell making or spell casting. And here's what I'm thinking. When you think about how you want to live, let's pretend it's with hope. And so, what is your recipe for hope? What does that look like, taste like, sound like? What does it smell like? So, as I was thinking of an example, I was thinking, okay, so my recipe for hope would include some soft cloud and a bit of rainbow and some fresh rain. And then as I was creating a vignette for that, like a symbol, I created exactly that, a little cloud with rainbow underneath and like coming out from the cloud and some raindrops. And then kind of a fun way of creating like a sigil or symbol is to take the word you use, remove the vowels, and use the letters, which would be H and P, to create a symbol. So you use the shapes of the letters. So you have 3 elongated lines, a half circle roughly, or a half oval, and a small line. And so I just played in different directions to see what would be interesting. And then you can add dots or leaves or other shapes like arrows just to create something fun. So you could also come up with a recipe for tea, or, just make it fun. So that's what I mean by spell casting or a recipe for. It could also be something like just imagery, really, like a map to, if you knew how to fill your days with hope, what would that look like? Or whatever your theme or word is. If you need more invitation beyond that or our creative time, I can certainly give it. For now, I'm going to start the timer and we will have our 7-minute write and enjoy. And if you're journaling, take a moment to finish your thought or thoughts. And once you finish those thoughts, your journaling, you can shift to the act of creation. If the earlier invitation is just right, wonderful. If it's not, I invite you to create based on what you most need today. If it's mark making and play, where you make a mark and you continue to make them, you're making a pattern, and then you're making a wider design. Repetition can be so generous, I think. So invite yourself to play and to have a bit of fun. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat or reach out, and I am happy to answer them. And we will continue creating for our time together with the music playing, and we'll have ending ritual before our time is over. We have a little more time before we say goodbye for now. And in that time, I want us to metabolize what we've been doing, writing, creating, experiencing. And so you can complete the task or the work you're doing in the next few minutes, or you can find a stopping place and then look back at the whole of what you've done today and see if anything stands out for you. Or you can quiet yourself and listen to the music. I'm going to switch us from our Spotify to our piece by Wells Hanley. And following that, we'll have our closing words. For our closing words, my wish for you is that you continue to be who you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. Continue to allow humor to lighten the burden of your tender heart. So we just heard the music by Wells Hanley and some wonderful meditative music via Spotify. I thank you for being present to yourself and to others through this Meditate and Create, and hope it continues to give you life and energy in the moments to come.